my faith arising. I'm crawling out the trenches, holding me, my life.
Hello, visionaries. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maresa Talbert. I'm the founder and CEO of Talbert Law Office, your favorite go-to legal resource for all things business, nonprofit, and intellectual property law. So today we're exploring the topic of how and when to use a DBA or an FBN, so you can decide if it makes sense for your business or not. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So what is a DBA or an FBN? DBA stands for doing business as. Sometimes a DBA is referred to as a trade name or an FBN, which is a fictitious business name. They're all the same, although different jurisdictions may use one title or another. But every business has a legal or a true name. You know how you have those friends or family members that don't play about their government name? You can't call them by a nickname or else you get responses like, "My name is Deborah, not Debbie." Or, "My name is Alexandra, not Alex." That's like your business name. It's your business's true and legal name. On the other hand, you get those folks who only go by their nickname. As a matter of fact, you don't even know their real name. You've been calling your homegirl Kiki for the last 10 years. You have no idea if her name is Kiera, Kiana, or Keisha. All you know is Kiki. That's your DBA. It's your business nickname. In the case of a sole proprietorship or partnership, your business's legal name is the name of the business owner. For example, when I started Talbert Law Office, I started as a sole proprietor. I needed a DBA to call it Talbert Law Office because my business legal name was my name, Maresa Talbert. In the case of a corporation or an LLC, the legal business name is the one that's on its formation documents, like the Articles of Incorporation or the Articles of Organization. So when Talbert Law Office became a professional corporation, its legal name became Talbert Law Office. And I could still get a DBA for TLO or Talbert Law or even something completely different like Talbert and Associates. But let's talk about what a DBA is not. A DBA does not create a business. If you are trying to register a DBA without first forming and creating your business, your state will recognize your business as a sole proprietorship, which means there's no separation between you as an individual and your business. So you will be held personally liable for your business debts and obligations. Next, let's talk about why use a DBA or fictitious name. There are several reasons why a business could want to use a DBA. Number one, you don't want to do business under your personal name. As I mentioned, when I was a sole proprietor, this reason was particularly important for how I wanted my business to be known to the public. Without registering for a DBA, your business name will automatically be the exact same as your personal name. So for privacy and other reasons, you might want to give your business a different name. Which brings me to my second reason for a DBA. Number two, you need to strengthen your business credibility. Having a DBA can strengthen the credibility of a business for sole proprietorships and partnerships. A DBA can help the public identify with your brand or even the goods or services that you provide to the consumer. For example, if your name is Chris Smith and you sell and trade sports cards, you may want to market your business as Smith's Sports Cards with part of your name in the title. Or you may want to name it something altogether different, like trophies. A DBA allows you that flexibility. Number three, you may want to expand your business and enter into a new line of business. So let's take the earlier example of Smith's Sports Cards. Chris went from being a sole proprietor, where the legal business name was Chris Smith. Chris started making his coin and formed Smith Sports Cards LLC. So now the legal business name is Smith's Sports Cards. But now Chris wants to expand his business to not only sell and trade sports cards, but to also sell sports memorabilia. So he files a DBA for Smith sports cards and memorabilia, even though his legal name is Smith's Sports Cards. You following me? All right, moving right along. Number 3, you may want to operate multiple businesses under one business entity. This is particularly advantageous for LLCs and corporations. With a DBA, you can form more than one business without actually having to form a separate LLC or corporation. I'll use myself for example. I have Talbert Law Office, a professional law corporation that provides legal services. However, I could file a DBA under my corporation to then operate Talbert Business Consulting, where I could essentially start another business but avoid all the paperwork and expenses. Number 4, you want to use a memorable name. Take Starbucks, for instance. Its original name, Starbucks Coffee, Tea, and Spice, was inspired by Moby Dick. However, years later, it's just Starbucks, because ain't nobody got time for all them words. Or even Nike, which was formerly known as Blue Ribbon Sports. Can you imagine? Ugh. We see how that turned out. So you might need a DBA to do the same thing. Get you a name that sticks. And last but not least, you might need a DBA to open a bank account. Banks often require sole proprietorships and partnerships to have a DBA to open up their business bank account. So now that we know how a DBA could be helpful, how do you actually obtain a DBA? It's an easy answer. You register for it. Normally, you're going to register a DBA with your city or county. There may be some states where you have to register at the state level. In most states, a DBA registration must be renewed every 5 years. Again, registering a DBA notifies the public that a business name is in use, and that DBA name becomes a part of public record. This is so that consumers are protected from fraud. The rules, requirements, forms, and fees for filing a DBA are different in every jurisdiction. Another thing to note is that when you file for your DBA, you are typically required to announce your DBA filing by putting an ad in a local newspaper so the public can be made aware of your filing. I'm sure this all sounds very tedious, but if you need one, you better get one. It is illegal to operate your business under a non-registered fictitious name, and there are both civil and criminal penalties associated. Understand that your DBA is significantly linked to your business and brand strategy and will impact the way that you transact business. Think about the ways that either your business legal name or your DBA can help you build, expand, or even simplify your operations. If you are in California and you need help filing your DBA, give us a call here at Talbert Law Office. We'd be happy to help you. Well, that's all I have for this video. With that, this is Talbert Law Office, your favorite go-to legal resource for all things business, nonprofit, and intellectual property law. I'll see you in the next video.